Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm back, baby. So, for those of you who don't know, I have been away for a while, and you might be wondering why I was away. First and foremost, my computer broke, so I wasn't actually able to make videos. Secondly, it was wrestling season, man. For those of you guys who don't know, I'm a high school wrestling coach. I'm very passionate about the sport of wrestling. I wrestled in high school, I wrestled in college, I've trained MMA for a number of years. Not any good, but I enjoy the training, man. And God has really blessed me in being able to be a high school wrestling coach. I believe it is my calling. I first thought it was YouTube like this, and to be like Alan Parr or something like that, man. But I really believe in coaching is my purpose and what God has called me to do. So, what does that mean for cinema sermons? So, I wanted to do some channel updates and movie news. And that's the first live stream that we're going to do. So, this video is going to be a published video. It's not going to be a live stream, but this is what the live streams are going to be like. So, I hope to do a live stream once a month, eventually get down to bi weekly, and eventually get down to weekly. I want you guys in the chat talking to me. I want us to do it like we're hanging out, like friends, just friends hanging out, having a good time. And I think it'll be effective that way because we just get to talk about movies, man, and we get to talk about our faith in God. And if you're not a Christian, man, and you just want to hang out and talk about movies, do it, bro. We're happy to have you here, man. And if you're going to be a troll in the comments and be like, well, I didn't want to talk about God, well, you clicked on a channel called Cinema Sermons. So, but anyway, we're happy you're here. Sir, what are the channel updates? So, when it comes to live streaming, man, I think that's where I want the sermon part of Cinema Sermons to be more, because it started with me and a friend just talking. We were having a conversation. It was an army buddy of mine, good man of God, real good dude, super funny, and we were talking about just life. And I used an obscure movie reference, somehow made it a parallel to the Bible, and he was like, "Dude, I think this is a gift that you need to steward." And that's how it all started, and I absolutely love it. But there was this pressure of feeling like I had to do this, right? And just being completely honest and upfront. A lot of people say they love how real I am, and I'm not going to change that. In First Timothy, the Apostle Paul lays out some certain criteria for someone who is to be in a position of authority to be teaching the Word of God, which I do not need. We never justify sin. We never sit in it, but I am not above reproach. I am working actively to become, above reproach. But dude, I'm far from it. So I don't want it to be like, oh, the cinema sermons guy is a hypocrite. No, no, I'm just a guy who loves movies and loves Jesus. So instead of being in a position where I'm like teaching at you and like kind of looking at me like an authority figure or anything like that, I don't want that, man. I just want it to be like we're just friends hanging out talking about the Bible, and it can just come out naturally, or not even like talking about the Bible. It just happens organically, right? Like we're talking about the Terminator and how that is a great representation of one day we all are going to stand judgment before God, whether we like it or not, whether you believe it or not. Like Sarah says in Terminator 2, it's going to feel pretty freaking real to you too. So people are like, oh, you're magical sky daddy. It's going to feel pretty real to you too, bud. But then that's where we have to be like John Connor instead of Sarah and try to help humanity, right? But that's a whole video for another time. Which leads me into my next thing. My polished videos, like the 4K camera and the green screen, those are gonna stay. But that's where it's gonna be the movie reviews and movie rankings. And man, I'm so excited to do that because I just get to talk about movies. I get to just share my experience of a movie with you guys. All right, like I'm in the middle of watching Dune right now because I wanna watch Dune 2 tomorrow and have a review up on that. No promises, but that's the goal. But man, I'm just enjoying watching this movie. And instead of like watching it thinking like, all right, how can I pick apart a biblical theme or a biblical part of this? I just get to enjoy the movie, and I get to just review that with you guys. And again, like I'm sure it'll come out in my reviews because it's who I am. But I'm trying to get to keep the sermon part to the live streams like this, where we can just talk. And eventually I want to grow the channel to where I can have a Patreon and we can have conversations over like, a 30-minute hangout or something like that, where we get to just talk about whatever we want to talk about. And it can be the Bible, it can be movies, it can be both. So, just try not to force anything, just letting it happen organically, man. And I'm really excited about that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the direction that the channel is taking. You guys can see a little bit more of my personality through live streams. Like I'll be using accents and funny stuff like that. Not because I try to. It's just who I am, man. Like, I'm sure you've already seen it a little bit through this. And I say, dude, right on and stuff like that way too much. But what are you gonna do, right? All right. So, getting into movie news. I got my notes here, right? I'm a professional. Trying to be. I'm trying to get to like Sean Chandler and Cody Leach, man. Those are my guys. So, get into movie news. Have you guys seen the pictures for The Crow yet? Oh my gosh, this movie looks like it sucks. Oh man, this movie was always going to be doomed from the beginning because of the shadow of Brandon Lee, and for lack of a better term, the ghost of Brandon Lee. The Crow is such a good movie, and it's so artistic, and it fit in the gritty '90s, and it fit in that area, and the whole story is just kind of marred in tragedy, and man, it's gonna be a hard undertaking. It was gonna be hard to do anyway. Like I love that movie. I love The Crow. I love Brandon Lee. I love Bruce Lee. And when they released the first pictures of Bill Skarsgård as Eric Draven, man, I lost a lot of hope. Now the trailer might change my mind, dude. Maybe the trailer come out and blow my mind, and I'll be like, wow, this movie actually looks pretty rad. Right now, it does not. I am not looking forward to the Crow remake, and it sucks because like you can kind of just watch, rinse, repeat, or copy and paste the idea of the Crow to anything. I actually came up with my own idea. Of how that would be. I come up with movie ideas all the time. And but leave Eric Draven, that character, for Brandon Lee. They didn't do that. They're remaking it, and not everything has to be remade, right? Which leads me to my second part of movie news. Dude, they're actually making Gladiator 2. Like, why? That should just be a standalone movie. There's no need to remake or make a sequel to Gladiator to Gladiator. It's one of my all-time favorite films. I think it's one of the greatest movies ever made. And apparently, Gladiator 2 is going to be picking up the story of Lucius, the kid, right? Commodus's nephew. And I'm like, yeah, so let's just tell a story that no one wants to watch. All right. I mean, I'm going to see it. They're going to get my money. But not everything needs to be remade. Not everything needs to be a sequel or a legacy sequel, not everything needs to be revisited, man. Just let it be something good, right? Like Casablanca, phenomenal movie, one of the greatest movies ever made. In my opinion, probably is the greatest movie ever made in terms of cultural impact, longevity, quotability, things of that nature, right? And it's just a standalone story. There's no sequel, there's no prequel, there's no spin-off. It's just Casablanca. And even if you've never seen the movie, you've heard of it, right? Um, and even the quotes, we'll always have Paris. And he is looking at you, kid. And just all the great quotes from that movie. But just leave it alone. There's no need to revisit that. There's no need to uh, there's just no need. Just we don't need Gladiator 2, but they're doing it anyway, right? So those are two movies coming up that I'm not excited about. But a movie that I am actually excited about, and I can't believe I'm excited about it, is Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. Stupid title, really stupid title, but I'm gonna see this movie. And truthfully, I'm probably just riding high off of Godzilla minus one because that movie was awesome. Gosh, I wish my computer was working because I want to do a full review on that. If you have not seen Godzilla minus one, go do it. You're doing yourself a favor, man. You need to check out Godzilla minus one. That movie rocked. And I think I'm just like high on Godzilla and just want to watch anything I can with him. And Godzilla versus Kong was cool, and Godzilla King of the Monsters was cool. The 2014 Godzilla I didn't enjoy. I'm definitely Team Godzilla, right? Team Kong, Team Godzilla. I'm the big G all the way, baby. But the plot for this movie, you're not going to this movie for the plot, right? It's like, hey, let's get a bigger lizard and a bigger monkey to fight Godzilla and Kong. It's like, all right. And the leaks that I've seen of the other villain, Shimu. Sorry, spoiler alert if you guys don't want to see that. Um, I don't even know if that's accurate, but apparently it's just a bigger lizard and a bigger monkey that he's fighting. But again, dude, I'm not spoiling anything. It's Godzilla and Kong, dude. If you're upset about spoilers for that, then you're just gonna be way too upset and offended about anything. Like the plot doesn't matter. It's Godzilla and Kong, man. What do you need to know? So anyway, I'm actually excited for that movie, man. I'm looking forward to it. It's just gonna be stupid and dumb and turn your brain off. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Interested to see how the Oscars play out. Really hoping the Holdovers does well. I really enjoyed that movie. I didn't see Oppenheimer. I know that that's probably the shoe in to win everything, but we're gonna see what happens, right? But yeah, man, it's basically all I got for today. Oh yeah, also channel updates on these live streams. I eventually want to get a lot of interviews, dude. I want to interview Sean Chandler. I want to interview Cody Leach. I want to interview John Cooper of Skillet because not only do I love his music, not only do I have a massive crush on his drummer, Jen Ledger. She's gosh, I've had a crush on that girl since I was 16 years old. But watch, they're gonna end up seeing this and they're gonna be like, never listen to our music again. But anyway, I want to interview John Cooper because I agree with him on a lot of stuff. He's a really good dude. Their music has helped me through some of the toughest times of my life. I have both of his books, and he's a big nerd. We can talk about movies all day. So I'm really excited to get those interviews on here, man. And I'm really looking forward to the direction that the channel's taking to have these live streams, to be able to hang out with you guys. You see my passion just talking about movies, right? And movie news. It's fun, and I want to get your opinions on things. I want to do things like having hot takes on the live streams, interviews, um, and again, just more movie news. I doubt the channel updates are going to change too much unless I decide to go back to the original way of doing things, of positives, negatives sermon. Like I said, right now, man, I'm just looking forward to just having a just reviewing the movie. Whether I liked it, having rankings, having fun, and still doing this. We are not getting rid of the sermons part of Cinema Sermons at all. I just think I'm going to move it to the live streams, have it be a little more conversational, because it's a little more authentic, man. So I'm really looking forward to it. So thank you guys for hanging out with me today. If you like this, give it a like, hit that subscribe button. We are almost to 500 subscribers. I want to get this channel monetized so I can continue to coach wrestling. So please help me out in that. And yeah, dude, just keep watching movies and talking about movies, and keep talking about Jesus. And remember, I love you. Jesus loves you. That's our story, and we're sticking to it. See you guys. How do I stop this? Stop recording. End recording.